Hey, this is the Entertainment Advice Channel. What I want to talk about today is a topic of why do TV shows suck so much nowadays? So for this video, instead of using the same point you hear all the time, it's down to the fact that companies nowadays care about quantity more than quality in order to make a quick buck. For this video, I'm going to discuss something different this time, because we want to make entertainment better again, like movies, music, and in this case, TV shows. We have to cover all the issues that there is so we don't neglect. We don't focus on one issue and neglect other issues, okay? So we can make entertainment good again once and for all. So now that I've mentioned that, when it comes to explaining the three things we need to work on to make TV shows better, let's get started with it. Okay. So the first one is simply down to the fact is down to lack of creativity. Okay. Now, just before I continue on with this video, I just want to make it clear. So, since of course TV shows cover a wide stream of different things, from sitcoms to of course, cartoons like superhero movies and, of course, anime and a bunch of different types of stuff out there. I'm just going to be using anime as an example because I'm very familiar with anime, to be quite honest with you, compared to other types of TV shows, okay? But all these rules can apply to other types of TV shows as well, okay? So I'm just making that clear so you understand that, so you don't get confused why I'm only talking about anime for the examples I'm giving for the three main points why TV shows suck nowadays. Okay, so now that that's done, let's get back to the first point. Okay, so when it comes to why TV shows suck so much nowadays, it simply comes down to lack of originality, okay? Unlike the 1990s and 2000s, where they've had a bunch of different themes for shows, okay? Like you obviously had the sci-fi show themes, themes, in other words, that were for sci-fi. You had magic theme shows, you had dystopian theme shows, whatever, a bunch of different things for everybody. You easily add 5 to 10 more types of themes. Nowadays, when it comes to anime, they tend to focus on the same few themes, if not one main theme over and over and over again nowadays, which of course, even if a show is well written, it can still get boring, okay? Because the truth of the matter is people in this world uh want variety, okay? It's just like, for example, let's give an easy example, okay? When it comes to why people want variety, okay? It's just like food, okay? Let's just say you had your favorite dish in the world, okay? Let's just say it's pizza, okay? For example, to be honest with you, okay? You love pizza, okay? But you are only able to eat pizza every single day for the rest of your life. At some point, no matter how well made it is, okay, it could be literally made by the world's greatest chefs, you're gonna get tired of it, and not just tired of it, but absolutely sick of it, okay? So when it comes to food, it's like that. And when it comes to TV shows, it's no different, okay? So when it comes to TV shows just having the same theme, it's just about magic and this and that, it can get very boring over time. If you just have only TV shows that are about magic instead of other particular themes, even if the show, like I was saying before, is really well made. So that's one of the first reasons why TV shows suck so much nowadays, okay? Specifically, of course, as I was saying before, what I'm using as example today, anime sucks so much nowadays because they just simply cover the same main themes, not enough variety. It's the same thing, the same this, the same that, and you get tired of it and sick of it, okay? So that is the first main reasons why anime sucks nowadays, because they just use the same themes over and over and over again instead of having a variety, okay? So that's the first reason. Now, the second reason why anime sucks so much nowadays is it simply comes down to the fact as well, that simply put it, there is just simply, of course, and a bunch of overused tropes, okay, which just makes the shows very not only repetitive but very predictable, which ruins the experience. Most specifically, or most importantly, more to be more exact, you know, predictable, which ruins the experience because you're like, I already know exactly where this is gonna go. Okay, when it comes to tropes, which tropes are quite similar to cliches in a sense, um. But anyway, back to my discussion about tropes, you know, the truth of the matter is, tropes, even though they're similar cliches, is another thing in its own right, but it's still just as devastating as cliches, okay? Due to the fact that when it comes to tropes, whether it could be character tropes, plot twist tropes, they're just the same exact same thing over and over and over and over again, okay? With, which using a character trope as the first example, it could be the classic, of course, he's the school loner, he doesn't talk to anyone, he doesn't have any friends, but at the same time, everyone's so obsessed with him because he's also extremely smart and brilliant. Like, where have we seen this before? For that matter, okay? So that's one example of overused trope. Or it could be a plot trope. We finally got to destination, but we didn't really feel as great as we expected to feel when we got to the destination. To be quite blunt and honest with you, we actually felt miserable, and we actually missed the journey when we were going on the adventure to the destination, which kills the experience you know, because it's like, okay, I've seen this a million times before. I've heard this cliche so many times before. It's ridiculous. Or the plot twist trope, you know, you know like, for example, okay, the main character, is he lost his father, and he's going on a mission to, of course, maybe fix a problem that's going on, and then it turns out that his father was the actual real villain, like things like that. Like, it just ruins the experience because it's like, I already know exactly where this is gonna fucking go. I already have seen it so many times played out. It just ruins the experience because it's like, not even just down to the fact that it kills the ability to experience something new because it's so predictable, and part of the fun of watching a TV show is to predict what's gonna happen and this and that, you know. It's also just down to the fact that it even has a psychological effect where it's just like, I feel like I'm watching the exact same show over and over and over again. So for that very reason, that is the the reason why, another reason to be more exact, the second reason why TV shows suck nowadays, because they just use the same tropes that are outdated. It's the same thing over and over again, and people want something new and different, okay? To be quite honest with you, instead of the same generic boring tropes you've seen a million times before, okay? So that's the second main reason why anime sucks so much nowadays, okay? Now, the third and last reason is it's down to the fact of just simply making a show too long, okay? Which, this one is definitely a bit more of a controversial one, but it's still a good point, okay? Because when you make a show too long, it definitely ruins the ability to enjoy the show. Because when a show is just too damn long, like, we're talking about not even like 1 to 300 episodes, but 500 plus episodes, it just encourages shows to be more, of course, have more plot holes, and not just really big plot holes, but really massive plot holes. But it also encourages the show to have really huge periods of times where it's just absolutely boring to watch because there's just too much unnecessary character development and all this type of stuff, and you kind of get sick and tired of it, when as you're watching it, let alone if you decide to rewatch a series, okay? So it just kills the experience of it, okay, for that matter, okay? Because the longer you make something, obviously, the more time that there's gonna be, when, of course, no surprise, people are gonna make mistakes, okay, for that matter, okay? The more you make anything last too damn long, there's going to be more likely to be a lot more mistakes made than if you had it at a reasonable pace, okay? To be quite blunt and honest with you. And that's the honest truth of why, to be quite blunt and honest with you, like I was saying before, why TV shows suck nowadays. Because they just simply do too many seasons. As a result of having too many seasons, they screw up the series and it ends up getting fucked up. Just like Game of Thrones, from what I've heard, ended up falling apart because it was just too long, and as a result of it being too long, they made more mistakes, and it just ended up being like the final season, which was just a complete disaster. Okay, so that is the truth of the matter, for why TV shows, suck so much nowadays. It's the 3 points I gave, for this video, you know to be quite honest with you. And just to end this video off, if we want TV shows to be better again, we need to stop with these three main problems that I mentioned for it. We need to have more of a diversity of themes. Okay, we need to stop using the same exact tropes over and over and over again. And last but definitely not least, we have to have a greater limit for most shows, if not all shows, on how many episodes they can have. Okay, so it doesn't get drawn out and overplayed and just start to suck ass. Okay, and that's the honest truth. Okay, so anyway, this is my video. I hope you learned something new as well as enjoy this video. And just remember, if you like this video and videos like this, remember to thumbs this video up and hit the subscribe button. And this is all I have to say. And simply put, I'm out. So bye.